Hi, I'm Tony Kern. I took this picture on the eastern slope of Little Round Top, a small, picturesque rise in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. It is perhaps as unlikely a location as one might find to act as a fulcrum for world events. And yet, on July 2nd, 1863, that's exactly what it became, when the largest armies ever assembled on this continent were engaged in a battle that would leave as many casualties in 3 days as there are names on the Vietnam Memorial Wall. General Robert E. Lee's Army of Northern Virginia was about to assault the left of the Union line in a decisive battle that, if won, would have turned the war dramatically in favor of the Confederacy. As the attack was about to unfold, General Gouverneur K. Warren, the Union Chief of Engineers, noticed the undefended heights of Little Round Top and immediately directed the closest available troops, the 20th Maine Volunteers, into position. Now, if captured, Little Round Top would expose the entire Union position to Confederate cannon fire and result in almost certain defeat, not only for the Union, but likely for President Lincoln's vision of a reunited nation. Colonel Joshua Lawrence Chamberlain, a former college professor and seminary student, was issued one simple order: hold this ground at all hazards. The attack came almost immediately, and for the next several hours, the men from Maine desperately held that ground against multiple assaults by far superior numbers. In the late afternoon, with their ammunition exhausted and the battle-hardened Alabama troops advancing once again, Chamberlain threw out the textbook and ordered a swinging gate bayonet charge from the spot where this photo was taken. The unconventional tactic caught the exhausted Confederates completely off guard and carried the day, and with it, the continued hopes of the United States of America. This event carries 3 very special messages for me. The first is that of decisive action. General Warren was a combat engineer, not typically in charge of infantry placement. Seeing the gap in the line for the risk that it was, he didn't ask for permission or guidance from superiors, but issued immediate direction. The second lesson is the clarity and simplicity with which he gave the order to Chamberlain: hold this ground at all hazards, trusting Chamberlain to use his professional judgment and discretion to carry out the command however he saw fit. Had more detailed instructions been provided, Chamberlain might not have had the freedom of action required to boldly execute the one tactic that was successful against the overwhelming odds he faced. And finally, Little Round Top reminds me of the incredible power of bold initiative by a single individual at the point of attack. And although we may never find ourselves on top of a ridge with the fate of the nation hanging in the balance, each of us finds ourselves in the line of fire on countless occasions in our daily lives every day. I call this photo the end of the line, and I hope it provides the same inspiration for you that it has for me.